Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadhu Vargena Vaskalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamaram Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Paraha Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunayavatirna Kalau Samarpayitum Munnatojvalarasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dhyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Vasachi Nandana
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya
Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna. We'd like to welcome all of our YouTube live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our dear listeners over Zoom. Welcome to all of you to this day 15 of Sri Gauramrita. Before we proceed today, we would like to announce and congratulate the names of the devotees who have participated in yesterday's quiz session. We congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Flavier, Nutan Purohit Mataji, and Ranjani Gopika Mataji. Thank you all so much for participating in yesterday's quiz session.
Okay, so we will continue with chapter 14 of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and then we'll also discuss the pastimes from Chaitanya Bhagavat and Chaitanya Mangal of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Atithi Viprerana Kailatinavar Pache Gupte She Vipre Purila Nistar. On one occasion, the Lord ate the food of a Brahmana guest 3 times. And later, in confidence, the Lord relieved that Brahmana from material engagements.
So, this entire beautiful pastime, the way it is narrated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, is just through this one verse. He just tells this entire Leela in just one verse. And he writes that if you want more details, please refer to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So now, therefore, following the instructions of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, we will see in detail what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, how does he describe this most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pastime of Nimai blessing this wonderful, sincere Brahmana.
And the reason he does that is because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, if Vrindavan Das Thakur, the incarnation of Vyasadeva, has actually written on the childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, what is the need for me to write in detail? And so, therefore, taking reference from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we now go to Chaitanya Bhagavat. Chapter 5, there was a very, very pious Brahmana. He was visiting different places of pilgrimage to satisfy Lord Krishna. And he worshipped Lord Krishna by chanting the Gopal mantra, which generally the Brahmanas, they chant, consisting of 6 syllables. And he did not eat anything other than the remnant of food offered to Lord Gopal. Nothing, only prasad. So after he visited many pilgrimage sites, this fortunate Brahman at last came to Navadvip. And there he came to the house of Jagannath Mishra. He heard a lot about Jagannath Mishra. And as a person who had so much purity, he was automatically just attracted to the house of Jagannath Mishra, because that's where the Supreme Personality of Godhead resided as Sri Nimai. And so somehow he would carry Lord Gopal and Shaligram Shila on his neck, and those would be his decorations. Little Gopal deity and Shaligram Shila, very close to his chest, around his neck. And this Brahmana, because of his austerity and devotion, he was effulgent. Brilliance was just exuding out of him. And seeing this shining personality, Jagannath Mishra, he just stood up out of respect and then offered obeisances. In fact, Sri Jagannath Mishra, he did everything to provide proper hospitality, to look after his esteemed guest. He personally washed his guest's lotus feet. He offered him a fine elevated seat. And this is hospitality, to welcome someone. In fact, for many people, for new people, preaching means hospitality. When someone comes to our temples, they are the guests. Do we see them as just, oh, some person has come to the temple and now I'll have to share my prasad with him. Otherwise, I would have gotten more. Do we see like that? Or do we see this is a guest of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, the presiding deities of our temple? They have personally invited him or her and this family. Let me, as the servant of the deities in the temple, let me welcome them and please them with the hospitality, so that they would want to come again and again. And if we do that, people will come again and again, whether they understand the philosophy, the first shot or not. But if the hospitality, everyone can relate to. This Vaishnava hospitality, this hospitality is a Vaishnava culture, taking care of the guests, atithi. Atithi means one who comes without any tithi. Tithi means a particular date and time. And atithi means that person has no date or time, just comes and I'm here. And that's how do we receive them? Of course, nowadays, if someone just comes up and rings our bell and says, I'm here, we're like, whoa, who's this person? Did you take any appointment? I'm not going to open the door. I'm not here. That kind of a thing. But that's how it has become, the culture. But earlier, the doors were open. Whatever the household members were doing, any guest comes in, they would just leave everything that they would do and welcome them. And for a lot of times, preaching is actually just making someone feel welcome and make sure that they are taken care of. And this hospitality is the heart of preaching, not just for new people, even for existing devotees. It's not like, okay, now you're a devotee, now you are chanting, now you're initiated, so we don't need to take care of you. No hospitality for you, only new people hospitality. Why you want hospitality? Why you are so needy? No, it's not like that. In fact, as for senior Vaishnavas, and we should actually be more hospitable. So Vaishnava culture is all filled with hospitality, and we can see in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam how Krishna welcomes Sudama, how Krishna welcomes Narad Muni, and he's so hospitable. Similarly, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, more than the philosophy, what's really worth noting is this culture of hospitality that we see amongst devotees. So Jagannath Mishra, welcomed this guest. He didn't know who he was. He saw a shining personality, seemed like a Brahmana, but he's coming to my home. I must welcome him. So once the Brahmin was seated comfortably, Jagannath Mishra inquired from him,
That, my dear Brahmana, where have you come from? Where do you stay? And then the Brahmin said, well, I just wander around. I'm just a mendicant. And I just travel throughout different countries because, I don't want to get attached to any particular place. So then Jagannath Mishra said, it is actually the good fortune of the world that you travel everywhere. Thus you give the mercy of the Lord everywhere you travel. So everyone who sees you, they see you along with your little Gopal deity and they are blessed. So you are actually the perfect carrier of the mercy of the Lord. Like this Jagannath Mishra glorified the Brahmana. And then he said, Jagannath Mishra said, my dear Brahmana, we want to serve you. Can you please, eat? And, we know that you will not eat what we would cook, but then what would you do? What can we do? How can we serve you? So then, the Brahmana said, no, of course I will take what you eat, but I just have a thing that, like a vow that I want to cook every day for my Gopal. So if I get something, most of the time when I'm traveling, I just get some fruits and, there's some roots and I offer that to my Gopal and I eat. And sometimes when I get rice, dal, sabji and the other things, then I cook that and I offer it to my Gopal and that I eat. So Jagannath Mishra said, we will arrange. We will arrange for rice, dal, sabji, whatever you want. Please make an opulent feast for your Gopal. And that way you can, after you offer it to your Gopal, you can honor that feast. So the Brahmana said, sure, I would definitely like to do that. And then the Brahmana, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra personally, they cleaned out the kitchen very nicely so that, this Brahmana could come inside, and they kept all the ingredients very, very perfectly, a perfect, spotless, shuchi kitchen, a perfectly pure kitchen. And then this Brahmana, with great love and devotion, he was cooking. He cooked a very nice feast. And then he came, very nicely. He arranged everything on the plate, beautiful, in Bengal. There's this, it's called bell metal, which is called kasha. Kasha means bell metal. They have, which looks like golden plates and golden katoris like that. That's what is considered very, very pure to offer to the deities. So, Sachimata, she, pulled out these beautiful bell metal plates and bell metal katoris in which the Brahmana nicely arranged all the bhoga. And very lovingly, he came in front of his Gopal and he started ringing the bell and making the offering. And as soon as he started chanting the mantras, the Brahmana just started his meditation and he started telling the mantras and he started offering right at that time. As soon as he started chanting the mantras, little tiny Gaura Sundara, he just appeared. He just crawled into the room and he just picked up the rice and he put it in his mouth. He picked up the rice, put it in his mouth. He picked up the rice and put it in his mouth.
and then the Brahmana cried, hi, what happened? Look, this restless boy has stolen the food meant for our offering. And then Jagannath Mishra, he immediately ran. What happened? What's the commotion? And he saw that Sri Gaura Sundar was happily sitting with on one of his legs and the other leg was up, and he was eating nicely and very innocently. And Jagannath Mishra felt so much love seeing that. But then he saw that the Brahmana is getting very disturbed. And he understood, okay, yeah. How can he eat the offering? This was meant for the Lord. How can this little boy eat? So then the Brahmana, he stood up, and Jagannath Mishra started becoming angry at Shri Nimai. And this Brahmana, he got hold of Jagannath Mishra's hand, and he said, "My dear Mishra, you're respectable, you're a knowledgeable person, but this little boy, what kind of knowledge will he have? And what will, scolding him, beating him accomplish?" So But Jagannath Mishra was feeling very miserable. He sat down holding his head. He did not speak a word. He did not lift his head. And the Brahmana said, "My dear Mishra, please don't feel sad about this. The Supreme Lord knows everything that happens at all times. We just depend on Him. He knows exactly what is going on. Just if you can, please bring whatever fruits or vegetables you have. I'll just simply eat that today because this offering was for the Lord. And before I could offer this, I cannot eat this now." So, so Shri Jagannath Mishra said, "Well, if you consider my servant, me to be your servant, please let me cook again, little bit. I'll arrange to cook this very, very quickly, and I'll be satisfied only when you cook once again. And I have all the necessary ingredients." So then all the friends and relatives in the house came and implored this Brahmana, "Please let him cook again." So then all the Brahmana, then he said, "Okay, you all desire it. I will cook. I will cook every preparation again for your pleasure."
So then now the second time, the Brahmana started cooking. He started cooking, and then everyone suggested that let us take Nimai out of the house. Let's take him out so that he'll go to the neighbor's house and he will be satisfied over there. Let him go out and play. So then Jagannath Mishra and Saci Mata, with Sachi Mata, she, carried Nimai and said, "Nimai, chalo, chalo, let's go, let's go." So then, Nimai very happily, he went with his mother. And then when he went there, the neighbors started asking, "Nimai, what's wrong with you? You know who that Brahmana is? That Brahmana, you don't even know. You don't even know he's a stranger. And why you ate his food? Why you did all this naughtiness, so much mischief? Why you doing all this?" So then I said, "You don't know who I am? How will, then one of those people said, one of those neighbors said, you will actually lose your caste, Nimai. Yeah, he's saying he's a Brahmana, but he's a stranger. You are the son of an esteemed Brahmana, Jagannath Mishra, and you are eating, what is cooked by that stranger, not good for you." So then Nimai said, "You don't know who I am. Nimai, little boy Nimai, around 1.5 year old. Nimai really started speaking right now. So Nimai said, "You don't know who I am? I am a cowherd boy. I am a cowherd boy. Have you ever heard that, jati brushed, dharma brushed? They were saying, your dharma is brushed, tomar dharma brushed hoye geche. Means your dharma, your religious duty have become, contaminated, polluted, Nimai, because you ate the food of the stranger." So then Nimai said, "No, no, no, you don't know who I am. I am actually a cowherd boy. And if I, being a cowherd boy, if I eat the food which is cooked by a Brahmana, how can I lose my caste? How can my dharma become brashta? You don't know anything about me. You don't know anything." So like this, Nimai was, having fun. Everyone was laughing. And Nimai, you are so, what Sachimata cooks for you so nicely. Still you want to go and eat it from everyone. Why you, Nimai, you'd be so naughty? So then like this, Nimai was going from one person to the other. And they were just having lots of fun. Meantime, in Jagannath Mishra's house, the Brahmana again cooked the entire offering with lots of love and devotion. Again, he arranged everything very lovingly on the plate. And then he came again to Gopal. He came in front of his Gopal. He offered, he started ringing the bell. And he started chanting the mantras. As soon as he started chanting the mantras, Nimai put all of those people in illusion in that neighborhood. And then Nimai again appeared in front of the Brahmana, again started eating rice. Nicely. Brahmana was closing his eyes and, nicely ringing the bell and, saying the mantras, inviting Krishna, "Oh Gopal, come and eat, come and eat, come and eat." And Nimai was nodding his head. I've come, I've come. And he was eating. He was eating, going on eating.
And then when Brahmana opened his eyes, he was caught by surprise. He was in disbelief. Again, hi, what's going on here? And then this time when Jagannath Mishra came, he grabbed a stick and he chased after young Nimai. And Nimai started running around while eating his food, eating rice. And people in the house, they caught hold of Jagannath Mishra and said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And Jagannath Mishra said, "Now leave me, leave me. I have to teach my child a lesson." And they tried to reason with him. You are known to be such a liberal personality. You are so soft to everyone. What will happen by, treating Nimai like this? He's such a tender age. His sense of discrimination between good and bad has not yet actually developed. Why would you take a stick and go behind this child? Children are restless. Not true that one can teach them by, scolding them. You should not do that. And so then the Brahmana immediately came to Jagannath Mishra and said, "My dear sir, please hear my plea. This young boy is not at fault. It's not his fault. Whatever is destined to occur to me must happen. Maybe Krishna does not want me to have rice today. Just, I'm telling you, give me some fruits and vegetables. I'll be completely happy. This is what Krishna wants. This is what I need to do. This is what I deserve. This is what will be for my benefit." And then the Brahmana said, "Well, look, I have already cooked twice. Yet Krishna has not allowed me to eat. So one may have unlimited foodstuff. I know you have a whole unlimited foodstuff in your house. But if Krishna does not want me to eat, why should I go against his will? It's now past 1:30 in the night. It's 2 a.m. in the night. Is it appropriate to now start cooking? Please, I'll just simply eat some fruits and vegetables and don't worry."
So this Brahmana, he was saying that this must be the will of the Lord, that he wants me to just eat fruits. But this is how the living entity, we do not know that Krishna actually has something much more better in store for us. We think that, oh, I cooked twice and Krishna didn't allow me to eat. That means Krishna doesn't want me to eat. But what if Krishna wants to actually give the Brahmana much, much more benediction than just eating what he is supposed to eat? The Brahmana will get so much more mercy. So, we do not know what is best for us, but Krishna knows what is best. So therefore, we must have faith. And that is the reason why at that time, Vishwarup, the elder brother of little Nimai, he would come home very late because he would be sitting with Sri Advaita Acharya, listening to discourses about Srimad Bhagavatam, listening to Krishna Katha, associating with all the senior Vaishnavas there, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, Murari Gupta, all of them would sit and discuss Krishna Katha, and Vishwarup would always be there with them in Advaita Acharya's house. And Vishwarup would come so late, and Vishwarup, that time, he walked in and he saw that this scene is happening. And at that time, when Vishwarup walked in, the Brahmana was so mesmerized looking at the beauty of Vishwarup. He immediately felt in his heart that this is an expansion, that this personality is an expansion of the eternal spiritual master, the Adi Guru, Sri Sankarshan. So he had that revelation in his mind, and Sri Vishwarup came and, offered obeisances to the Brahmana and said, I beg forgiveness on behalf of my, naughty brother Nimai. But my dear Brahmana, my father, my family, everyone is so disturbed that, you're not able to eat. So I am requesting you, please, my dear Brahmana, please cook again. I will make arrangements this time for you. So please cook again. And this heartfelt plea of Vishwarup was not able to be refused by the Brahmana. And he immediately agreed that yes, just to honor you, I will cook. So you see, we may want to reject Krishna's mercy. We may not be yet prepared to receive the mercy of Krishna. But as soon as Vishwarup, who is Adi Sankarshan, who is the eternal spiritual master, as soon as he interfered, immediately now we see how Nimai will give his blessings to the Brahmana. So therefore, this is the importance of the Guru in our life. The spiritual master is the one who, implores the Lord, who invokes the mercy of the Lord upon the living entity, upon the sincere living entity. So this is very, very important that the third time Vishwarup came and implored and said, please cook again. Don't think that Krishna, doesn't want you to eat. Don't think about it. Don't put don't stress your mind and put any logical conclusion that, oh, this is what Krishna wants. Don't do that. Leave it to Krishna. When we leave it to Krishna, when we do everything based on what Krishna is wanting us to do, then we will see magic happening. Just like the way Brahmana noticed. So now it was almost past 2:00, and then the Saci Mata and the elderly ladies of the house, they all said, don't worry, don't worry. Nimai, he's very tired from the entire day. Look, he's sleeping. He's sleeping right here. He's fast asleep. It's past 2:00. He's fast asleep.
And then Jagannath Mishra, he said, that's fine, but I don't trust this little boy anymore. He was with you, and then he put you to sleep and came. What if he wakes up and just walks in? No. Tie the doors to the room from the outside so he cannot escape his room. And Jagannath Mishra said, yes, we should do that. That's a good plan. Tie the doors from outside. We will remain out there. And there were ladies inside Nimai's room. There were ladies outside Nimai's room. And Nimai's room was locked.
And Jagannath Mishra himself sitting guard at the door outside so that Nimai doesn't escape again. So much precaution was taken. And in the middle of the night, at 2:00 in the night, the Brahmana again started cooking.
And he prepared an offering plate filled with the things that he cooked. He sat down to offer everything to Krishna through his meditation. Nimai, Sachinandan, the son of Mother Shachi. He knew everything, what's going on, because he's the Paramatma, he's the super soul within the heart. He desired to appear before the Brahmin and reveal himself this time. So by the will of the Supreme Lord, Nimai again enchanted everyone and put everyone to sleep. They were sleeping effortlessly. Jagannath Mishra standing with the stick outside the door, and he was dozing off. And Sri Sachinandan, he appeared in the place where Brahmin was offering his rice to the Lord. And then, this time he started eating the offering. And when the Brahmana, this time he was offering with his eyes open, he was actually seeing Nimai coming and actually coming and eating. But he just couldn't do anything. And as soon as he started eating, he raised an alarm. Hi, again this has happened. Again Nimai has come. But no one heard him because everyone was in deep sleep.
So when the Brahmana said, hi, Nimai said, shh. What hi? What every time hi? First you call me, and then when I come and start eating, then you're saying hi. What's wrong with you? I was a little perplexed. What are you saying, Nimai? What are you saying? He said, I'm saying what you're hearing. You know who I am? And then Nimai reveals his incomparable beauty to the Brahmana.
The Supreme Lord, Nimai, transformed himself and stood before him as the Supreme Lord in his 8-handed form. In 4 hands, he had the conch shell, the disc, the club, the mace, and the lotus. And with the other 2 hands, he was holding butter and he was eating it. And on the other 2, like both hands, he was eating. So 4 hands, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. 2 hands full of butter and eating with those 2 hands. And with the last 2 hands, he was playing the flutes. And this Brahmana, his eyes were just amazed. He saw the entire form of the Lord. It was decorated with gem-studded ornaments. His broad chest was marked with Lakshmi Devi's sign of Srivatsa. And there was a priceless jewel, Kaustuba Mani, which hung brilliantly like a gem in a necklace. And then the head of the Lord in this eight-handed form was decorated with fresh flowers that circled his peacock feather that was there. There were flowers surrounding it. And his lips were red like the rising sun, pink. And in that, surrounded with all of these different ornaments, his moon-like face was softly glowing. And his pink lotus-petaled eyes, they were smiling sweetly. He was smiling with his eyes. That is the most genuine smile. Someone can smile with the lips, but we see there is emptiness in the eyes. But someone who smiles with the eyes, that's the most genuine smile because it's coming from within. So his pink lotus eyes were smiling. And his knee length, the Vaijayanti flower garland, was all the way to his knees. And his shark-shaped earrings were swaying delicately as he was just immersed in reciprocating with the love of this Brahmana.
So now let us understand, just a little sidetrack, that what is the components of Vaijayanti garland? We always hear that Krishna wears a garland of fresh forest flowers or the Vaijayanti garland. But the Vaijayanti, there is nothing called as Vaijayanti flowers. Srila Radharaman Maharaj explains that what Krishna wears, what is the Vaijayanti garland, what is it composed of? It is composed of 5 different flowers. Kund, Mandar, Parijat, Tulasi Manjari, and Lotus. These are the 5 flowers that comprise of this Vaijayanti flower garland.
And then this Vaijayanti garland was all the way to his knees. His lotus feet, they were blossoming lotus flowers and they were decorated with ankle bells, gently tingling. They were gem-studded ankle bells. And then from his nails, even the nails of the Lord, they were like pearl-like nails. They were lustering and it dissipated the darkness that was around. Then the Brahmana, he saw that this whole place has been transformed into Vrindavan Dham. In fact, he saw in Jagannath Mishra's house Kadamba trees and then chirping birds on the Kadamba trees. There were cowherd boys and girls. They were roaming around. On everything was exactly as he had seen in his meditation. He overcame with such ecstasy, with seeing such extraordinary display of opulence. In his ecstasy, he just fell unconscious.
And at that time, Sri Gaura Sundara, he placed his transcendental hand upon the body of the Brahmana. And being touched by the Lord, the Brahmana came back to external consciousness. And then again and again, the Brahmana fell at the lotus feet of Nimai. And he was just offering his obeisances to Nimai. He was feeling such great bliss, such great ecstasy. Tears were flowing from the eyes of the Brahmana. And the Brahmana was just catching hold of the Lord's lotus feet. And he was just crying for that, the Lord is revealing the entire Brajadham, entire Vrindavan Dham to this Brahmana. So he was just so much in ecstasy and so grateful that the Lord was giving him so much mercy. Then Gaura Sundara spoke to the Brahmana and he said, "My dear Brahmana, you are extremely dear to me. You should know that even when I came as Krishna in Vrindavan, at that time also you had come to the home of Yashoda Mata and Nanda Baba. And just like how you made the offering here right now? Even that time, you had made and cooked for me, and I had come and eaten, and I had revealed my form to you. But you have forgotten that. I have not forgotten that. So you are my eternal servant, my dear Brahmana. So I am revealing this to you. This is a secret. If you tell this to anyone, what you saw tonight, what I revealed to you, I will destroy you. Okay? You better not tell this to anyone, because I am right now in a hidden incarnation. So I'm not telling anyone that I am the Supreme Lord. So I want you to keep this as a secret. I want you that you can stay in Navadvip, stay here. You can witness my pastimes of the Sankirtan, how I propagate the holy names. You can witness all that. But don't tell, don't reveal my eternal form to anyone. So then, saying this, the Lord disappeared. And then Gaura Sundara again, taking the form of little Nimai, he came and lied down right next to Sachi Mata, as if he was just sleeping there all the time. And this Brahmana, it was like almost Brahma Muhurta time now. And he was just, wailing and crying in ecstasy. He was rubbing the rice all over his body, and he was eating the rice. He was, bathing himself in that rice. And he was just going, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. He was going mad in ecstasy. And listening to him shout like this by saying, not hi, hi anymore, but Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. And Jagannath Mishra's sleep immediately woke up. And then everybody came into the room. They said, oh, what happened to you? They saw everything scattered, rice scattered all over him. He said, no, 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 I'm okay. I'm completely satisfied. It's just that my Gopal reciprocated. And he felt so inquisitive to tell that you're Nimai. Your Nimai is the same as my Brajendra Nandan Shri Krishna. But he remembered Nimai's dhamki. He remembered Nimai's warning that if you tell anyone, I will destroy you. So the Brahmana didn't say this to anyone about the supremacy of Nimai. But he stayed there in Jagannath Mishra's home, around that same locality, same vicinity. He stayed for a long time and witnessed the beautiful, beautiful pastimes of Sri Gaura Sundara Nimai Pandit.
Sri Gaura Sundara Nimai ki jai.
Jai.
So then Sri Chaitanya Mangal describes, Sri Lochan Das Thakur from Chaitanya Mangal describes in this chapter 2 about a pastime of Shashti Puja. One day, Sachi Mata and the neighboring ladies, they went to perform Shashti Puja under a banyan tree. Shashti is a female deity who protects children. So Shati Mata, she covered the food offering with the edge of her sari, like a cloth to cover the offering, and he proceeded along the footpath. Little Vishwambhar, Nimai, he was playing nearby, ran over to his mother. What are you taking? Mother, what are you carrying? Let me see, let me see. And then she said, no, we don't see, show it now. We are carefully taking these offerings to worship Mother Shashti, Goddess Shashti under this banyan tree. Just stay here and play. When I return, I'll give you some sandesh, I'll give you some bananas, and I will ask for the boon to Goddess Shashti, that you'll be free from all suffering, free from all inauspiciousness. Sachimata told Sri Gaurasundar.
So Shandesh is actually a milk sweet which is made with chana or paneer and mixed with sugar and made into different shapes and sizes. They're, just like how Rasgulla is a Bengali sweet, the Shandesh is also Bengali sweet. Rasgulla is, it's juicy, it's in syrup. Shandesh is a little dry, kind of a sweet, and very, very dear to Lord Chaitanya, to Srila Prabhupada, to all devotees around the world.
And so Nimai said, Mother, Shachima, you are going to ask benediction so that I can be free from suffering. I'm telling you right now, you don't understand. I'm experiencing great suffering right this minute. Look, my belly is burning with hunger. I cannot tolerate anymore. And quickly, just like lightning, Gaura Sundar, he snatched the sweets that Shachimata had saved for goddess Shashti and popped them in his mouth. Shachi Mata, she became upset. What have you done? You're so restless. How can I explain to you? You disrespected the demigods. You cannot take their offerings before offering to them. And Sri Nimai, he remembered how he had done the similar thing with Indra when he had convinced the entire Vraja, including Nanda Maharaj, to perform Govardhan Puja instead of Indra Puja. Why are you so mischievous? Sachimata was saying. You are a Brahmana's son. I feel like what can I do? I just feel like giving up my body. And then Nimai became angry with his mother. And he said, you just don't understand anything. I know everything. I know everything. You don't know anything. I know everything about all the three worlds. I'm one without a second. No one is equal to me. If you pour water in the root of the tree, the entire tree is satisfied. Similarly, if you worship me, whole life becomes perfect. And this was true because he was speaking from Bhagavatam. Canto 3, chapter 31, text 14 says about the pouring of the water to the root of the tree. It energizes the trunk, the branches, the twigs, everything else, and supplying food to the stomach. It enlivens the senses and limbs of the body. Similarly, simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service satisfies the demigods who are part of that personality. And then, after telling this in an angry way, like a innocently cute, angry way, you don't understand. I know everything. You don't know anything. This Gaura Sundar, he just came and embraced his mother.
And Shachi Mata was shocked. How does my son know how to quote from Srimad Bhagavatam? How does he know such grave philosophical points? And she said, Nimai, I just don't understand you. Then she came along with the other ladies. She came under the banyan tree and she said, Shashti Mata, I am so sorry, my Nimai. He is really uncontrollable child, but knowing him to be ignorant, you please forgive him. Please protect my child. I don't know what else to do. And Shachi Mata, just because she wanted her son to be protected, she very humbly approached all the senior ladies along with whom she had gone for the Shashti Puja. She said, my dear ladies, you are, as good as the goddess of fortune, all of you. Please bless my darling Nimai so that, his restlessness can calm down. He can be a little shant. He can be a little peaceful and not so naughty. Please bless my child so that he has a long life and a very nice life. Please bless my child. So like this, Sachi Mata would pray for Nimai to everyone.
In fact, Gauranga used to pass his time playing, enjoying like this, many frivolous pastimes with his friends. One day, something special he saw. He saw a litter of puppies, small little puppies. And Nimai picked out the nicest one. And Nimai's friend said, look, Nimai, you chose the best puppy. And then you left the ugly ones for us. Why? It's not fair. If you keep that cute puppy, then we are going home. So Vishwambhar, he said, come on, listen, I'll keep this puppy in my house and then we can all play with this puppy in my house. What's the problem? And so everyone was like, all right, if you allow us to play also, then it's okay. So Nimai took the puppy home and tied it to a chain and playing with it. Then Shachi Mata, she had gone to bathe in the Ganges. She came back, finishing her duties. And Vishwambhara's friends, Nimai's friends, they came into the house. They started playing with the puppy dog. They fondled the dog. They rolled in the dirt with it and laughed and joked. And then suddenly they started quarreling amongst each other. Who will pet the puppy? And Nimai took side of one boy and he found fault with the other boy. And Nimai said, look, every day you come here to play, you always start a fight. Why do you behave like this? So the boy who Nimai was finding fault with said, "Well, you stole the puppy." And then he stormed out of the house. Seeing Shachimata was returning back from Ganges, this boy said in a voice choked with anger, complained to Mother Shachi about Nimai. "Your son, Vishwambara, he's playing in the house with a puppy dog. Sometimes he puts it in his lap, sometimes hangs over his shoulder. Go, you don't have to believe me. Go and see for yourself." And Shachimata quickly, "What? A puppy? Where? From what? I never saw." And Shachimata entered the house, saw Vishwambara was playing with a puppy, and in her astonishment, he hit her head with forehead with her palm and said, "Vishwambara, what are you doing? I can't simply understand your behavior. You have so many things to play with. You have this whole world to play with, but instead you found to play with this dog. You are a son of a very religious father." Now, what we are going to say, what Sachimata says, is very traditional in India. In Western countries, the dog is considered very sacred, and of course, they are very loyal and very man's best friend. Yes, man or woman, everyone's best friend, and they are very, very wonderful. But at the same time, they have nice behavior and everything. But a Brahmana in the Brahmana family, it is considered to be unfit to play with a dog, because the dog, sometimes they feed on non-vegetarian stuff, and they also there are so many other things unclean in one sense. So strictly, of course, not inside the house, but even outside the house with the dog, it is considered a little not befitting a Brahmana's son. And so Shachi Mata was saying, "Your form is so pure, so wonderful. Why do you find happiness in smearing your body with dirt? And now you're playing with this dog. Along with this dog, you will also be fully immersed in the dirt. Look at your body, it's full, fresh, lightning. Face is like moon. And yet instead of wearing your clothes, you're covered with dirt. You're having clothes of dirt." And then Sachimata, she then, "Okay, Nimai, if you like the puppy so much," because Nimai also showed Mother Shachi his puppy eyes. "Oh, are you really going to say like this to me?" And so Mother Shachi said, "All right, if you're going to show me your puppy eyes, fine. If you like that puppy so much, take him to your room. Just forget about your mother and father. Don't listen to them. Go play with your dog."
You just forget all your standards and you go. You like the dog, no? You go be with your dog only. So then, Shachimata gave up her anger because Nimai was giving, these puppy looks, puppy eyes to Shachimata. So then Shachimata said, no, my Nimai, amar shona chele amar ekhane esho. Come here to me. My little golden child, come here to me. Come here. And then, with her saris, end of her sari, she was dusting off the body of Nimai and said, "Look at you, Nimai. I will put some nice fragrant oil on your head. See, it's almost afternoon. So why don't you go with your friends, go to the Ganga, take a nice bath in the Ganga, and then you come back and then you eat something. After you eat something, then you play with your dog. Okay? So you go now." So then Nimai said, "Okay, Ma, I'm going. But then you take care of my puppy, okay? You take very good care of my puppy. You promise?" So the Shachiman said, yes. You go and then you come back, you eat, and then you can play. So then Gauranga, very, very happily, Nimai, he went to the Ganga with his friends. And as soon as Nimai left, Shachimata, untied the little dog and, sent him away. So the little puppy went. And then when Nimai, was in the Ganga, that time Shachimata's, one of Nimai's friends came and said, "Nimai, Shachimata, she let the dog go. She released your dog." And Nimai got so angry. He said he came home running and he was fuming like this. "Ma, you promised me that you will not, you will take care of my dog. You let the puppy go. I'm very angry with you. I will not talk to you. Why you let the puppy go?" And then, Mother Shachi said, look, Nimai, I actually didn't do it purposely, but we'll search for the puppy. I'm telling you, you eat something now, we'll search for the puppy. You don't cry like this. And then, Shachi Mata offered nice shandesh and kheer and bananas and all these tasty, tasty other sweets and nice offerings to Nimai and pacified Nimai. And then Nimai, after he came back from the, um, after bathing, Sachimata took care of him in this way.
So here we see how Nimai is not just merciful to human beings. He is merciful to all living entities, including this puppy. And later we will see that he's also merciful to a dog who he sent him back home, back to Godhead. Shivananda Saint's dog.
So now let's see how after Nimai, when he took bath and came, how did Mother Shachi dress him up? Let us witness how Shachimata dressed her darling son. It is said that Shachimata would tie Nimai had nice, beautiful, shining black locks of hair, curly, curly hair Nimai had. So Shachimata would, take it in a top knot and put a bun on the top, and she would tie his head up in a top knot. And she put kajal in the eyes, the black mascara around his eyes. She wrapped a ruby red cloth around Nimai's nicely curved hips. And she hung a pearl necklace around his neck. Sandalwood tilak adorned his forehead and the other parts of the body. Gold bangles would be, he would be wearing armlets, and a very beautiful belt would adorn and very nicely reveal his slender waist. That belt would reveal. And Sachimata would also nicely put different, here she would hang around his head, she would hang pearls and, very beautifully decorate Nimai. So therefore, it is said that, Nimai, after being dressed like this, he would just run out to play again with his friends, and his walking, the way Nimai would walk, it would put to shame the walking of elephants, it is said. And Nimai's voice was very, very sweet like nectar. So like this, beautiful, beautiful pastimes were happening in Shachimata's house. So now let's see this, what happened to this little puppy. Yes, as Prabhu said, what happened when, Shivananda Sen's dog, we'll see that later. But what happened to this little puppy that was fondled and so much loved by little Nimai?
Sri Das Thakur says that puppy dog attained the greatest fortune just by being touched by the lotus hand of Lord Gauranga. In fact, the dog gave up all his bad habits and became very Krishna conscious. One day, when everyone was seeing this puppy, he just started dancing ecstatically and chanting the holy names, Radha, Krishna, Govinda. And hearing that this dog was chanting Hare Krishna, these townspeople of Navadvip, they ran to see the miracle. Before everyone's eyes, the dog exhibited the bodily symptoms, the Ashta Sattvika Vikar, 8 symptoms of love of God. The dog was crying. His hair was standing on end. His entire body was covered with goosebumps. Suddenly, this puppy in his ecstasy gave up his body and went back home. That's when, exactly then, a celestial golden chariot came down from the sky and carried the dog to Goloka, Vrindavan. This chariot that came to carry the dog just because he was touched by Lord Gauranga. It had many domes, just like our TOVP. So many domes, Temple of Vedic Planetarium. The chariot was lavishly decorated with pearls, dazzling jewels, and there were sounds of conch shell, of gongs, of bells, and kartals. They were accompanying the divine singing of celestial beings, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras. They were singing the glories of Radha and Krishna. There was a flag on top of that chariot which was flapping, and this brilliance of this chariot just outshone the light of the sun. Everyone was just amazed to see this. This dog, in his spiritual body, he was sitting upon the jeweled throne inside the chariot. His body was adorned with divine ornaments. He looked more beautiful than millions and millions of moons. This former dog, this soul, formerly in the body of the dog, was singing the glories of Radha Krishna, of Gauranga. And these siddhas and charanas, they were fanning him with yak-tail fans, with chamaras, as the chariot soared back to Goloka. In fact, there were all the devatas, Lord Brahma, Sanaka, Lord Shiva, all the other devatas. They were surrounding the chariot and started singing Gauranga's praises because they had not seen such mercy bestowed by anyone. All glories to the ocean of mercy, the darling of Saci Mata. Never before has he bestowed such mercy. He liberated a dog. Typically, liberation is from a human form of life. This from the form of life of a dog. He sent him back to Goloka. And then the devatas were chanting the glories of Gaura Hari. You are the resort of the helpless. You are the best of all incarnations. By your mercy, people of the age of Kali will attain salvation. What did this dog do? What qualification did the dog have? Just that he was humbly, innocently willing to receive the love of Lord Gauranga. That's all. He did not, only qualification of his was that he did not retaliate the mercy of Lord Gauranga. When the mercy came, he just accepted it innocently. That's all we need in this age of Kali Yuga with Lord Gauranga. He is giving this mercy in the form of chanting the holy names. We just have to accept it, chant the holy names. Boom. The same mercy. When will the Devatas become so fortunate and receive your supreme mercy? Even the Devatas were saying, this dog who is not even in the human form of life has received this mercy. When will we, as Devatas, receive this mercy? Simply by your touch, a dog has attained liberation. Never have we seen such mercy. Even in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, such mercy is not seen. Therefore, Gauranga, we hanker for your mercy so we too can attain the same destination as this puppy dog.
So this is the secret of advancement in Krishna consciousness, that simply by meditating, simply by remembering these esoteric pastimes of Sri Gaura Sundara, we can become detached from material things, from everything material. We will just be able to be detached.
So the falastuti of this pastime is that Gaura Rai, we bow down to your wonderfully glorious lotus feet. You always overlook one's faults, one's offenses, and in this way, any fortunate living entity who takes shelter of you, Lord Gauranga, will attain Goloka Vrindavan. By this, one can achieve deep, unalloyed love for the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Repeatedly, if we sing these glorious pastimes, Lochandas Thakur says, I just continually marvel at this divine incarnation as known as Lord Gaura Chandra.
Yeah.
So we'll end this here with a special verse, which is generally chanted after a session of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela, or for that matter, any scripture.
This means basically that, whatever we spoke right now, we are ending it here. We are concluding our session. And this wave of, nectar, this Amrita Lahari, we are ending it here. And we request all the devotees that feeling in your heart, with love in your heart, please chant Hari Hari,
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari. So this is in Bengali. এইখানে রহিল গ্রন্থ অমৃত লহরী বদন ভরে একবার বল হরি 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 Hare Krishna. So now we will just chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for a little while. We know that we are a little over time, but we will just chant, praying for the families of our dearest Anjudi, for the family of Mother Clavier, and for this family from India. We pray for all of them, for the well-being of all the devotees, for the well-being of all the living entities around the world. May the Supreme Lord Sri Gaura Sundara shower his blessings upon all of us. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai,
Jai. So before we open the lines, let us read the questions for today.
First, what is the pastime that Nimai performed with the Brahmana? Second, in what form Nimai appeared before the Brahmana?
Third, what is the components of the Vaijayanti garland? Fourth, what did Shachimata perform? Sorry, why did Shachimata perform Shashti Puja, and how did Nimai pacify Shachimata?
Fifth, how did Shachimata dressed her darling Nimai? Sixth, what happened to the little puppy?
Seventh, what is the falastuti of listening to this pastime of Nimai with the little puppy? Thank you so much, Ranjani Gopika, for these beautiful questions. Now let's open the lines. Garima.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada and Gurudev. I really loved your class a lot, and the class was really amazing, and the story of the puppies was so funny and so it's like nectar flowing. Like it was so amazing when I was just hearing how Nimai got the puppy and how the puppy went to Golok, and it's just so funny, and how the Brahmanas offering 3 times. It was so funny that Nimai would even escape from the sleeping bed and do so many mischiefs around the whole house. It was so fun. I have one question that yesterday you were saying that Sachi Mata was blowing she was blowing on Nimai because of the evil eye. No, so why did Nimai was already he was not good the evil eye, but why did she do it?
To protect her son from getting the evil eye, from because there are so many envious people, so to protect her child, to keep him under the shield of her love, like even Krishna, actually to the Supreme Lord, no evil eye can ever come, actually, right? The Supreme Lord can never be affected by any evil eye, but that is the love of the devotees that she does like that to protect her baby. This is out of her own love that she does this.
Yeah, I understand that, Mataji. Thank you. I do this on Sunday. This Kurma Avatar.
Oh, Kurma Avatar. Jai.
So nice, beta. So nice. Very cute little. Yes.
Hi.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji. So actually, after hearing yesterday's class, she been telling me, that you should also take out my evil eye because you don't do that to me. So I had to do that on her last night. But she been asking me that what does exactly this nazar na lage concept mean. And actually I was also thinking I'll ask you as a mother's do we do to children, and how do we do it, and what do we do it? Because I know lately past few days she has been little sick. She has not been feeling very good. So she was saying, Mama, maybe I also have some evil eye. I thought I'll ask you.
Very good question. Yes, mothers should definitely do this to their children, because we learn that even Srila Prabhupada's mother would do this to him. And, there are many ways that, in different cultures, there are many ways that evil eye is taken off, children are warded off from the evil eye?
Basically, because there are so many negative energies that are going around. In fact, every thought that anyone thinks around us affects us in an unconscious way, subconscious way, because it's emitting that energy, that vibration, and we are, if we are in the, depending on how intense that thought is, if we are in the gulf of that vibration, it comes upon us. And uh, those who are, after 12 years of age, the children, they start getting some understanding of the world, and they start, then they can also understand how to ward off these negative energies, these effects of negative thoughts. And also that's why we chant and all of that. But below 12 years of age, the children are very innocent. They just as sponge, they just accept all vibrations, positive, negative, especially between 0 to 5 years. Whatever is vibrations are given, vibrations of love or vibrations of anger, vibrations of whatever, they immediately absorb it like a sponge, and that stays with them throughout their life. And there are all these different psychological issues that we have, is all because of what happened in that 0 to 5 years of age, what vibrations we were exposed to. And and then until 12 years of age, the mind of the child is not developed, and it doesn't cannot discriminate. I would say intelligence is not so much developed, mind is very developed. And so as adults, we can discriminate what to accept, what not to, and still we have problems doing that. But with kids, it's very they are very impressionable. So in order to ward off uh, these negative vibrations, the mother, who has a natural love for the child, no one loves the child as much as the mother. So the mother does these different rituals, and packaged in these different rituals for warding off evil eye is her strong, positive love vibrations that these rituals carry to the child, so that if there are any negative vibrations around, that can, this positive, loving vibration of the mother just wards it away. So that's the concept behind it. In different cultures, it's done in different forms, different rituals. The vessels are different, but the content of that vessel is the mother's love or anyone's loving positive vibrations.
So the way Shachi Mata would do it for Nimai is that, as I said, with her left hand, she would touch, the head of Nimai, and she would blow on the head 3 times, and then she would blow on, different limbs of the Lord's body 3 times, like that. And then sometimes she would also do this. She would take some salt and some red chilies, and she would go, 7 times around, chanting Narsingha mantras around the child's body, and then she would burn that. And the proof that, that the child is now warded off of all of negativity is that when it's burnt, the chili will not produce any fumes. That means that all the the evil eye has been removed from the child.
Generally, chili, immediately if you put it on,
you can't stay
fire,
near it.
it'll have fumes. If it doesn't have, which means there was something there. That's the understanding.
So like this, and then also Chaitanya Mangala, Srila Lochan Das Thakur says that Sachi Mata would also, bite the pinky finger of Sri Maha, of little Nimai. She would just bite the left pinky, just bite it a little bit, very lovingly, just like that. And then she would go blow him, and then she would also, just like spit it out, the key. Now I have put my love on you, so now no negative energies will affect you. So these are some of the things that are done, and this is actually done even for the Lord, like before Janmashtami, before any festival, the previous day, which is as Adivas. So that day, after doing the entire ritual, then, a lamp, a ghee lamp is brought, which has water in it. And then, the Lord is actually done arti, so that no evil eye can come upon the Lord. It's done for Krishna by the devotees. It's a part of the ceremony. And even, to our Guru Vargas, we do this ceremony of, with the rice, with mustard seeds and, chili, we ward off the evil eye. With the lamp, we ward off the evil eye. So yes, that's perfectly fine to do that.
Thank you so much, Mataji Prabhuji. I learned something new. I know now when they were small, 2-3 people, even devotees in themselves, they told me, because sometime they'll get sick and they'll say, wo kirtan gati hai, usko nazar lag gayi hai, uski nazar utaro.
Yeah.
So sometime I used to do with the lemon, but I don't know, I never knew about Mahaprabhu and how Sachi Mata used to do. So I always used to think, no, I mean, we have taken shelter of Krishna. Krishna will take care of her. Don't worry, it's
Yes,
okay.
Krishna
I never.
takes care through the mothers also. The love of the mother.
Yes. No, I understood the concept now, and I understand completely today. So
Yes, my mother does it for both
no,
of us.
it's
Prabhu's mother does, my mother does, our mothers do it till today for us.
Thank you so much for telling me and educating me, because now I know. So I will also start doing it for both of them, and with a proper understanding. Like I understood so much new things today, and she been asking me since yesterday, "Kya hota hai nazar na lage?" Explain me. So I said, "You ask Mataji, I don't know." But thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you.
We should do this with utter dependence on Krishna. Ultimately, it's the dependence
Krishna
on
is the
Krishna.
protector.
Krishna is the protector. Whatever strength of love the mother has, it's all the source is from Krishna. So acknowledging that and praying that way.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much. Hare Krishna. Hari Prasad Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories goes to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. And thank you so much, Mataji. Today's session is so wonderful. Even I also realized like it is happening in front of me. And one thing I want to share the realization when in the Brahmana's pastime, right? When the Lord touches Brahmana, right? The Brahmana get tears, right? Even I got the tear also the same time. It was very nice, very, very nice narration. I was really enjoyed, and that especially the bhajan also at the end, the tune you made, right? It is so divine, very, very divine. And I have only one question, Mataji, in today's session. So the third time when Brahmana offered, right, that time, little Nimai made everyone to fall asleep, right? Even the elder brother Vishwarupa also fell asleep.
That's not mentioned. Because, Vishwarup would just come home. Actually, Vishwarup's schedule was that he would just come home, he would just, sleep for maybe maximum 1 to 2 hours. And then before the Brahma Muhurta, he would wake up again, he would take bath in the Ganges, and he would go back to the home of Advaita Acharya. So when this pastime happened, Vishwarup would have been already outside the house, because that's his regular schedule.
Because he must have gone there to attend Mangalarti.
Yeah.
After 2 a.m. Of course, at 1:30 he did convince, second time at 1:30 a.m. he was the one who convinced to cook for the third time. And so after that, it's not mentioned, but it's possible he may have
He would have left by then, because that's his schedule normally. He would leave.
Or there are so many possibilities. Or he may have allowed Nimai to perform his pastimes and would not want to interfere in what he wants to do.
Yeah. Really understand the value of a spiritual master today. I understood. So how the spiritual master uplift us. Yeah, definitely. I will also follow the same footpath. Definitely, I'll also get in touch with you, all spiritual master, to get the mercy of Lord Gauranga. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anju Mataji. Anju Mataji, you would like to unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna, Anjudi.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe.
Jai Shri Radhe.
Thank you so much for nectarian beautiful classes. बस आपको you have to also wear the evil eye, as I sent you the recorded message also, like, you know, the tiger pendant for the thing. आपको नजर नहीं लगे मैं कैसे उतारूं? Like, you know, the way you, oh God, the expressions and everything was, in fact, you know, I was bathing my Kahana Laddu Gopal today when that pastime was being, even he was laughing. I was seeing a smile on his face, and he was when, especially that thing that you were just saying, that Nimai ki, he was saying, don't tell anybody, otherwise I'll oh God, it was, I just don't know. It's like full time, even I was laughing and he was also laughing. And yesterday, you know what happened? I was little disturbed because of my mother was very depressed yesterday and she was very feeling lonely. So we tried to taking permission, special permissions from the doctor to go and visit her, but they didn't give us. So then I just started doing a lot of chanting and I could not sleep till 11:30, 12. And then I started, I just put, after that, I've just put your yesterday's class and I was listening those pastimes. I went up to sleep. And in my sleep, you know, I was just feeling that he wants to eat sandesh and this. And, you know, luckily I had those bananas in the morning. I got up and got sandesh and I offered him. And this is a Maha Prasad. Can you see? We like we get every day at home. So, and then we just got the sandesh I made. And I offered just to
Exactly what Nimai would eat.
yes, I offered it to him, and now it's the Mahaprasad. So, offering to you and all the devotees.
Right. Thank you so much, Dee. This is beautiful, beautiful.
It was his wish. I don't know. He was just saying that he wants to eat, and like in the morning, suddenly I just after the Mangalati, I said, "Oh, I have to go to the kitchen to make it," and it is. I just, in fact, like you know, it was so thing like you know, he's making me more closer to him. That is his divine plan, and like you know, 24/7 night, like you know, it is just full faith, and now just. And you are just making us more and more closer to him, and hearing these pastimes obviously is our saubhagya, like you know, it's his grace and mercy we are hearing. And when I was hearing these pastimes from past 2-3 days, I was just feeling why Krishna had so much naughtiness and even Nimai so much of naughtiness in them. Was there anything to reflect or something like you know he wants to teach us? I just wanted to ask your thing on it.
He is, see, he comes to his main purpose of coming to this material world is not so much to kill the demons. You know, generally it says paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, to annihilate the miscreants and to protect the devotees. So first he says paritranaya sadhunam. Then later, as a secondary thing, okay, if I'm here, I'll also vinashaya cha dushkritam. So his main purpose is to attract his devotees. So if it's just a very bland pastime, okay, he came, he was very obedient, he was this. There is no attraction. He wants to attract all the devotees and everyone in the world to him. So if Krishna does not do any mischievous pastimes, then what is there for us to describe? How will we be purified by any description? If there is no description, nothing to describe. But these different pastimes he does, with his different pastimes, he sometimes teaches also. Like yesterday, he taught everyone about Mayavad philosophy and against it. And, you know, today he said how we should love all the living entities with the puppy. And then he revealed with his mischievous pastime, but it had a meaning to the Brahmana saying, look, I am the Supreme Lord. And these pastimes, because otherwise people say, no, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just a very great devotee. He's not God. He's just, if you see the theologians, they will say, yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yes, he was known for a very big devotee. He was, and he did a lot of, he's a very nice saint, but they are not able to acknowledge that he is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So with these small pastimes, he's also revealing, mischievously, he's revealing, look, I'm the Supreme. You called me to eat when you're asking, when you're offering bhoga to Krishna. you're calling me because I'm none other than Krishna. And that's why I'm coming and eating. And when I'm coming and eating the bhoga, you are saying, why are you eating? First you call me, and then when I come and eat, then you are saying why you are. So in this way, he is expressing that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not to everyone, only to few selected confidential servants, confidential devotees of his. And through them, we are coming to know.
Haribol. It's so wonderful, like, yeah, this is so true. Otherwise, it just so gets a big smile on the face. And even I think so it teaches our mothers also, it's okay, children needs to be naughty.
Yes, and then you'll see how the mood immediately changes, when Mahaprabhu after his marriage and then after he, meets Ishwara Puri and comes back. He's a changed personality. So that transformation also we will get to witness.
It is said
Yeah.
that those who are very naughty in the childhood, they become very serious when they grow up. Those who are very serious in the childhood, they grow up and be naughty. So that's generally
The life
it
of
is said.
Nimai is an example of that.
Okay. So I think so Bhaiya must be very naughty. Like, I don't know. I was just
You're right, yes.
So that's the thing. Yeah, I think so. And Lord is also teaching us with his examples also. It's like living examples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see, like I was just, this was my realization that he also tell us, how we can do all those four things also very, very well in our lives. So that's very living examples.
Very
true. So thank you so much. I was looking forward, like, for these classes. It's so saying, and please just pray for my mother. I'm just wishing to go and meet her and hug her. That's it.
Pray to Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
I know he's there. He's taking care. He's taking care of our Krishna. That's why I say, Krishna, just take care of your Krishna. And that's why he's just saying, just do over here and I'll take care of her. But thank you.
We are chanting, we are praying, we are doing that for you, for Mama. Please don't worry.
That's I know. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? If not, we'll end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji, Koti Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Savita Mataji. Hare Bo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Murti and Surit. Hare Bo, beta. Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Madhurama. We value your association. We cherish your association. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Nice to hear from you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.